This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
When buying or selling your home, call Leo Bato. He has years of experience in real estate, showing honesty and integrity in every transaction. He's a person you can definitely trust. So book your appointment with Leo Bato today by giving him a call at 818-648-4837 or by visiting him on the web at www.leobato.realtor.
And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, a privilege to have her here finally on the podcast, Miss Imee Maghanoy! We've gone a long, long way.
I know.
And I am very proud of you because naabutan ko siya at ground zero.
Yes.
I met you and Kuya Richard nung when we were all starting dito sa States.
Mm-hmm.
I know your life testimony, what you went through, yung mga challenges in the Philippines, sa Cebu and all that. And then so we belong to one community and you've been very gracious kahit wala pa yung business. And then it started. And it was a dream that you had and you were very passionate about this dream almost, I'd say, a decade ago as of this taping.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And now it's an establishment that's established that has a reputation. What I want to talk about, and hopefully we can inspire a lot of people, because everything starts with a dream.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think we all have dreams.
Diba?
Yes.
Pero not everybody are brave enough to take the first step to fulfill that dream. I remember ikaw pa nagkikwento sa akin, Paco, try mo yung Groupon, okay yan, ganyan. Parang, you were willing to try avenues that other people, traditionalists, would steer away from. Nung nag-yellow pages, postcards, you were trying pay-per-click.
Yes.
Yung mga ganon.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to get into is your mindset. Were you always like this growing up? Were you always cutting edge?
No, you'll be surprised. I'm very shy. Even from high school to college. Kaibigan ko lang yung katabi ko. Yes. And
Sobrang introvert naman, no?
yes, I am like that.
Okay.
Like, uso sa amin sa Cebu doctors, like, hi classmate, we don't even know each other name.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Tapos,
I think na-develop ko yun after college.
but what got you out of your shell?
When I graduate from college, kasi like, my dad is like starting,
A business?
no, like,
No.
he's aging na.
Oh.
So, nawawala na yung mga negosyo.
Oh, but your dad had businesses
Yes.
also.
Oo.
Okay.
So, I think like, growing up or at that age when you're in 20s, pag graduate mo,
Napaisip ka na.
yes, and then when you graduate from college, like, you're actually lost. Like, after this, sanay na ako sa school, anong gagawin ko? Di ba?
Okay.
Because you're starting your career. And
Kayo na ni Richard nun.
hindi pa.
Shout out nga pala, Richard.
So, in the old days, pag mag-take ka ng board exam sa Philippines, it takes 6
Yes.
months or a year for you to wait for your result. But what you gonna do for a year? So, I ended up working in one company. And I think doon ako na-develop. Yeah.
When you started working, what job did you take while waiting for your license?
You cannot
Yun ni medical?
stock market.
Yun naman pala eh. So you
Yeah.
became more of like a broker.
Yeah.
So
Doon ako na-develop.
you
Yeah.
had to talk to people
Yes.
and they had to be able to trust you with their
Money.
investments or their
Yes.
money.
So, I don't even know about stock market. Kaya lang,
Pero kumita naman ba yung...
yes.
Okay.
Isa ko sa...
Yun eh.
Yes, na-enjoy ko yung job and I think it's like doon mo maano yung responsibility kasi like when people invest with you, ano yun eh.
Trust yun
they
eh.
trust you.
Yeah.
So, ikaw yung mag-recommend where to buy, where to sell it. So, it makes you grow so fast. And nakalimutan ko me. And I enjoy my job to that time. So, parang, I think, doon ako nag-start. Like, I'm more,
Entrepreneur.
Yes.
Kesa sa medical, parang ganun.
Mas na-enjoy ko yun, yeah.
Oh my God. And not only that, maybe that's the reason why you're more inclined to take risk because you were exposed to a lot of risk dun sa stock market.
Exactly.
So part of being sa stock market, dapat not only are you analytical, dapat kaya mo mag-extrapolate ng data eh.
Yes.
Is that something you learned or something that is in you?
Oh no, because like, syempre like the market would move based on like the economy of the country. And you also have to read like what the president moves because if they talk, it moves the market, you know? So everybody like, it makes your mind very active kasi marami kang pag-aaralan eh. And not only like one country, lahat. Pag-aaralan mo anong next move doon, dito. So, pero kasi matyaga din ako mag-aral sa dentistry. So, I think I can study din. Lahat pwede ko pag-aralan yan.
So, you were really into this. Walang love life during this time?
I think starting to get to, I met Richard na
Ayun.
that time.
Sa akin nagkakilala?
Sa work.
Stock market din?
Yeah.
Hindi naman nakagulo yung work sa relationship ninyo?
No, kasi like, I'm very workaholic and I'm very like focused. So work. Like even now, business partner ko siya. Pag nasa work, it's work time. You know?
Kaya ako minimension yun because your love story turned into not only a personal partnership but a business partnership eh.
Yes.
And ang nakakatuwa sa inyong dalawa, that's why kanina nga, nung nagdi-dinner tayo ni Michael Abad, sabi ko power couple eh. Because that's how I see both of you.
Oh,
yung tipong, talagang imbis na ganyan, talagang ganon kayong dalawa. When you guys make decisions as a couple, and I guess for the audience watching, it's important na both of you are in one accord, di ba? Or Toyota. Hindi, joke lang. Hindi niyo na ko yung joke na yun. No? So anyway, wow, ang tagal. Great, Brad. Okay, so but both of you have to be in one accord. And what is the decision-making process and how is the presentation between both of you? Kasi, I'll tell you why, may mga iba dyan, oh honey, ito gagawin natin. And then yung spouse, parang, sandali, parang hindi ako nakonsulta ron, and then may resentment and all that. For both of you, was it like that or was it, let's sit down, let's do this? So,
with us, kasi Richard is an engineer, diba? So, iba yung field niya. He only joined me when we opened West Hollywood.
Yes.
And like...
No, but let's go back because even coming to the States was a decision that both of you had to make. Or did you make it at hinabol ka lang niya?
No, sabay kami, di ba?
I know. Pero sila nag-decide?
It was me. Yeah. And then Richard is very supportive naman.
Galing, no?
Yeah.
So what was the decision to go to the United States for?
Well, you know the story.
I know the story.
Nag-share ako testimony sa church.
You feel free to share if you want to share it.
Well, I don't want to go details about it, but we all have story like all of us moving to US. Some of us like nakaplano yon, subnat. And whatever is that, pagdating mo sa America or whatever country migrate ka, it's gonna be a lot of challenge. Parang back to square one ka. And we were not ready. Ako yung nag-convince mag-move tayo.
Kasi it was very traumatic.
Yes, but then pagdating sa US, ako yung parang hindi naka-adapt. Parang, uwi na tayo ulit sa Philippines. You know? Ang hirap.
Yes.
But it was Richard din yung on that side na, no, we can do it. Like, ito yung gagawin natin. Yeah. So for a while, like siguro for 1 year, like I was so sad sa US. You know, I can't keep up with yung adjustment, lahat, maglaba and everything. And you don't know where you're gonna, and like, hanap ka pa ng trabaho.
Right.
What will you do? So, but Richard was, siya yung mas medyo
Kumbaga
kaya natin,
grounded, yeah.
yes, kaya natin to, like, and then siya yung mas nag-step up to do even like basic things sa bahay.
Yes. And this gave you time to actually get a grip on your mindset na okay. Ito may plano na. Because it takes time to come up with a plan di ba?
I know, yeah.
So when you were thinking of like you went into the how do you say it? Anong industry? It's also medical You're in the medical industry. Ang iSKIN is medical
Yeah, we're considered as medical industry, yeah.
Yes. But when you were conceptualizing it, putting the pieces together, you had to study the market So did you have to pull out yung skills mo na naman about, okay, tingnan natin yung data, tingnan natin yung opportunity?
I was like blessed when I moved to US. Siyempre, like, at the beginning, parang feeling ko na magdentista na ako ulit.
It's the easiest
I
route,
think the
di ba?
easiest, yun na lang, babalik na lang ako doon, mag-aaral ako, mag-take
Yeah.
ng exam. But it's not easy to get taking the exam sa US. Costs you a lot of money. And as an immigrant, you cannot afford that. Wala ka pang
Yes, stable
credit.
talaga. Yeah.
Hindi ka pa maka-student loan, all those stuff. But I ended up working in the industry. But it was really, hinanap ko talaga yon. Like, I think I wanna find that industry where it's fun for me because I have that experience in Philippines with Marie France,
Yes.
So, I work with a corporation sa US and that's how, and I was telling Richard, like, I'm gonna do the American dream. You can start the business. But, yeah. So, but I work in that company for 4 years, I think 4 or 5 years. And doon ako nakabuo ng network ko.
Right.
Get to know all the vendors and people around. And by the time they decided to close the company in US, they just left the Canada. It's Canada-based kasi yun So it was an opportunity for me to open. So napag-aralan ko na lahat. Kasi
Right.
working for them for 5 years, napag-aralan ko na lahat
Yes.
yun. So,
Pero it's convenient It's convenient to stay in a company na alam mong steady yung income mo, na wala naman reason to go against them. But you were presented with a crossroad. In other words, yung crossroad wasn't your decision to make. It was presented to you to make a decision.
exactly.
Parang, di ba? Parang, what was the conversation like between you and yourself and between you and your husband? Nung finally, andun na.
Richard is, parati like, he's always supportive kung anong gusto mo, and when the company closed, it was like, the opportunity is there, and I love what I'm doing, so I think I'm ready to like have a private practice. And Richard was like, okay, I believe like you can do it kasi matagal na ako sa industry. So that's the good thing with my husband. He's always like,
Yes.
he never say like, no, don't do that. Like, he always trusts me. Yeah.
You're very important. So finally now, you gathered all the pieces na kailangan mo to start what was to become Image Spa, right? Was it successful on opening day? Was it where you wanted it to be?
Wala kaming opening day. I'm very conservative. Do you want me to share to you how did I get that place?
Yes.
Opening a company is not that easy, especially if you lease commercial space. Kailangan you have to have a lot of money to show. And then, syempre, we just put the corporation. Walang history. And they require like this amount of money. Sabi ko, well, I cannot show you that much. Wala kapon ko lang inopen yung corporation. What do you want me to do? But we look at a lot of places. May isang place doon na yung image ngayon, doon when I saw it like, this is mine. This is my room. And I started praying.
Mo na, yeah. You
Yes,
prayed
I was
for it.
praying.
Yeah.
And then yung realtor like, these are the requirements. I said, wala akong may present. Yan. It's my first venture, Can I meet the owner? So they let me meet the owner. And I tell him, sorry, your requirement, I can't give you anything. Sabi kasi bago lang and it's my first time to venture. So sabi na, so you need an angel like me. You need an angel like me. You don't have much money and you wanna open. Sabi ko, yes. And I want 3 months free kasama renovation. Ang dami kong...
Wala na nga pan-down, may demands pa.
May pang-down.
May pang-down.
Kailangan required kasi 3 months eh.
Demanding.
Kasi required 3 months. I can give you the 3 months down. Pero yung gusto niya yung backup, yung buffer mo, I cannot show you million, you know.
Yeah.
And siyempre, siya as the owner of the building, like, kaya ba nito? Can she continue? You know, it's very expensive. And then he want me to, I said, I only need this part. It's like around 2,000 square foot. And he said, no. You get the entire. I give you a good price on the first year. Sabi niya, I know you're gonna grow. So he was very din.
Ito ba yung napuntahan kong clinic sa rancho? No?
Yung not the first one.
Not the first
Imee
one.
is the second one na yan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
failed in the first one. Yeah. So, yun, binigyan yung 3 months, free. Naka-renovate na siya. And we started it like very, low-key. I did not want to accept an investor kasi ayoko yung masakit sa
Yes.
ulo. And I only started with some few like followers. But that's how nag-start. And I think because ako yung nakaupo 6 days a week, you know, people work 5 days a week sa US, but
Yeah.
opening your new company, ako receptionist. Ako lahat. And I only have like some part-time nurse na nag-work and isang esthetician ko / front desk din siya. And only the 3 of us, we started the business, but we worked so hard, like from 10 a.m. hanggang 8 p.m. yan. And then started with one client, recommend, ganon. Kasi yun, we don't have much budget yet for marketing.
For marketing.
So talagang kayod ka.
Word of mouth.
Exactly, word of mouth. Talagaan mo, kahit one treatment lang yan, liligawan ko, you bring your friend, this and that. So, like, our first year, it was like doing so well. I was surprised, you know. Wala akong sweldo nang sa sarili ko, I think for 3 months. The company cannot even afford to pay me. But,
so wala kang day job?
no.
This was full-time? And
Si Richard lang nag-work.
Yes, that's support right there. Diba?
Yeah.
Yun ang suporta. Okay.
Yeah.
Galing.
So, you know, because starting a company is not that easy. So,
Yeah.
Sa first year, it's like impressive without putting so much, like budget sa marketing. With loyal client, we grew the business on the first year. Pag i-compare ko sa corporation where I used to work and we spent a lot of money sa marketing, parang, kaya pala. Tapos pag second year namin, talagang like yung whatever amount na iniwan ko dun sa corporation, like our yearly sales, na-achieve namin yon.
So tinamaan yung goal.
Okay, on our
for
second year. Yeah.
You said that the first company failed. This was not the first company that we're talking.
The first you did ikaw yung gumawa ng first, yung maliit lang
Yeah.
place. Yes.
Yun ang nag-close yun, di ba? Yung pinuntahan namin ni na Jaja, na kung saan nag-work si Heaven, that's the second.
Teammates na, second na yun.
Yun.
Yes, second
I
na
see.
yun.
Ang galing, no? Now, momentum. Let's talk about momentum. You said the first year when you hit your goal, was it tempting to slow down or did you talk to your staff na, we cannot slow down. Tuloy-tuloy tayo rito. What was the mindset there naman?
Oh no. Like sa business kasi as you grow, lumalaki din yung expenses mo.
Yes.
So you have to keep on going. And with ours, kasi I know getting the staff is not easy. So ang ginawa ko, I took the risk by hiring people that I know kahit expensive sila.
Right.
So I rather start with that. I already know like how they work. Instead of getting a fresh graduate, I hire a lot of my staff from the previous corporation. Kasi nag-close yun eh.
Yeah.
So jobless din
Yeah,
yung mga dati kong
exactly.
staff. So hinire ko na. And I think that's one thing na because when you have a good team, nakatulong yun.
So it really starts, no? Sa core talaga.
Yes.
So that's where you invested. You invested in people. So naabot nyo yung goal. The 6 days a week that you've been doing, did you think in your head this has to stop, or were you scared to stop your 6 days a week? Kasi momentum na yan di ba?
Yes.
This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
One thing that I want to share, if you love what you're doing, like in the med spa industry, I enjoy it. So, kahit mag 10 hours lang ako sa work, na-enjoy ko. Kasi in our industry kasi you talk to a lot of women and we talk about, paano magaganda? Paano ba kung hindi tatanda? Yun naman pinag-usapan namin. Even I'm not at work. That's what I talk about with my friends. Yeah, so hindi ko naramdaman yung 6 days. Na-enjoy ko coming to work. And I know like, lalo na nakikita mo every month umaakyat yung sales.
Yes.
So nakikita, nabivisualize ko na yon like, oh yeah, and then after first year, tama pala yung landlord ko kasi kailangan ko din yung kabila. So imagine binayaran ko sa the first, wala hindi mo ginagamit yun, but I still have to pay him.
Right.
Ayaw niya i-close yun Sabi na, later you're gonna ask me na mag-ano ka rin. Like,
so he was right
extend.
also, no? Dun sa part na yun.
And one thing he asked me, he said, pag lumalaki ka na, sabi niya, one thing I asked you na, huwag ka lilipat ng building. If you need bigger place, ang dami kong building. Yeah, so I've been with him for 10 years na in this building. Yeah,
So-
11 years na.
So that's another thing. Let's talk about relationships, your business relationships.
Yes.
Because when in the Philippines, you had business relationships with your investors, these people who entrusted their money, their life savings with you, their investments with you,
Yes.
diba? So that's a core value na dala-dala mo na kahit
Yes.
saan. How important is it dito? And I mean, the answer is very obvious, but some people don't take it seriously. Yung cliche na your word is your bond.
Yeah.
Pag sinabi mo, gagawin mo. Because you and your landlord have like more than a decade worth of relationship. And I'm pretty sure you and your vendors have that. But how do you establish that?
Well, like you have to appreciate every people you come across, whether client yan or your vendor. For me, it's so important, like when people like talk to you and trust you. Like I tell my client whether $100 yan or 10,000, whatever it is, yung trust, yung binigay ng client around you. So you just have to alagaan mo yon. Alagaan mo yon na to make sure na may ma-achieve.
Right.
Yes.
And may testimony ako doon. Tayong dalawa, Michael. Because when we wanted to guest you here on the podcast, we know how busy you are. No? Pero ang sa amin is, wala namang masama para magpadala ng invite . And then what did Miss Imee said? She said, I will get back. Diba? What did Miss Imee say? She said, I will get back to you, right? Sa mundo namin ni na Michael, mundo ng showbiz kami, di ba? Normally, pag sinabi, I will get back to you, nawawala na sa outer space yung ano na yun .
Talaga.
Oh, brush, di ba? Mark, brush off yun . And we were impressed and surprised. Well, him more than me dahil ako, I know you, but sabi, Miss Imee replied. And then hindi nag-work yung schedules natin,
Yeah.
di ba? And then you gave us this schedule which we greatly appreciate because yun nga malaking bagay yun . It sets a precedent with regard to your reputation and how an inspiration you are also to a startup like kami. Parang ganon. It's something else. Considering, guys, this is taped on a Friday, rush hour traffic. Driving.
And Fridays may busy.
And Friday's her busiest day also. So, thank you very much.
Of course.
So, kami pala na-inspire na. Now, being a woman entrepreneur has its challenges, has its own challenges. Pero I believe, me having a daughter also, I believe na women should have an equal voice talaga when it comes to, business, politics, religion, sa lahat, whatever.
Yes.
How many siblings do you have?
6.
Your number?
Second to the youngest.
How many boys?
2.
All girls. What was it like growing up?
I'm the one na walang voice sa family. Kasi pag bunso ka, wala. Any family decision you cannot.
Kumbaga parang sunod-sunod ka lang.
Oo, yeah.
So aside from the stock market, when did you find your voice sa family?
Siguro when I started working na. But, kasi pag sa family, yun yung nakasanayan mo. So, I tend to just say yes. But maybe like, nung nag-40s na ako, medyo mas, I can go back to my siblings like, hey, I'm not 16 years old anymore.
Thank you.
I'm not the 8 years old yung baby sister nyo. I have my decision na rin, and I think you have to listen to me too.
And that's important, right?
Yes.
That's important because may mga magkakapatid, like may kilala akong magkuya, hanggang ngayon yung nakababatang kapatid, takot pa rin sa kuya niya hanggang ngayon. And tawagin lang natin siya sa pangalan, wag na natin tawagin siya sa pangalan, no? Okay lang. So, yung mga bagay-bagay na gano'n, like sibling rivalries, how do you deal with that? Would you consider yourself more successful than your 5 siblings?
I don't like wanna say anything to them. They're more proud of me, but like,
Amen.
like sa akin, like they're always like, oh, like even my mga classmates sa high school, we can't believe you're like that when you're not talking, you know. Ikaw yung parating nakaupo lang, ayaw magtitingin kahit sa anyone around you. But with the siblings, my family we're half Chinese. So iba din yung Chinese eh. Hindi
Yes.
masyado yung malambing.
Yes.
We're not like that. Very short lang pag magkwento. Walang yung lambingan ganon. So we're used to that kind of treatment. So even until now, wala lang. When we talk, we don't talk about what you're doing, paano yung negosyo mo. We don't talk about it.
So you mentioned short talk, no lambing.
Yes.
And then you're in an industry where you have to chika,
Yes.
which is more than lambing with all your clients. Can you say that is now your personality, or that's still a struggle that you have to deal with on a daily basis?
No, kasi na-develop ko yun. I think sa stock market, lahat yun, that's the hardest job eh. That's the hardest job, like pag malulugi yung client, how you gonna talk to them. So,
Paano nga naman paglugi, nag-promise ka, biglang talo, how do you, gano'n ba? How do you say, siyempre sisigaw-sigaw yun, di ba?
no, but with me sa stock market, like I'm very direct. So hindi ako nag-promise. Like if you choose this price, you liquidate here, lugi ka. Or we agreed dito ako mag-liquidate, panalo ka. So may presentation ako both gain or lose. And in my department, that time I was only like 22. Like in my department, I'm very yung coworker ko lahat mga 40s, 50s that time. I think I'm one of the youngest na with like a lot of account. With me, like ako pa nag-propose sa management, no retirement. Hindi pwede
Whoa.
tanggapin yung retirement investment. So I teach my staff na kailangan yung extra money na willing ka kasi like something mga exporters sa Philippines,
Yeah.
di ba? So at least nag-hedge ka eh, lugi ka sa kabila,
Yeah.
dito ka kumikita. So I like it that way, no promise, yung ganon.
Do you gamble?
No.
Galing, no?
Magbe-Vegas ako, mag-shopping lang ako, and
Di
I
ba?
just enjoy.
I mean, for someone who hedges, ganun, you'd think na magagamble ka. So, okay. Wow. And you were only 22 nung ginagawa mo to.
Yes. So from there, like now with my industry, like when I talk to client, I'm not malambing. You ask Richard, until now sanay siya. Hindi ako malambing
Hindi?
na. Yeah. But with client, kasi I'm more educating client. So it's natural for me, like, this is how it works and this is what you expect. Ano bang, like client, when they pay like treatment with you, syempre may imagination yan eh. Paano ito yung gusto ko, tsura ko. And maybe her imagination is not what iba yung standard nyo, di ba? Like, iba yung standard nyo. So with me, like, I do my, like, presentation. This is what it gonna do. But depende, pag, sa'yo yan, it depends on how your body will take it.
Yeah.
And the question there, ano ba yung imagination mo? I tell them that direct. Sabi ko, I cannot promise you, but possible ito. So, na-enjoy ko na yun. And a lot of them, I think that's the trust there na yung expectation.
Right.
Hindi mo ipapromise, you pay like this, you're gonna look like this. No. Like, tita, we'll start here and then we'll see how it gonna progress and then see how you like it. And then we can step it up. Yun.
Ang galing, no?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yun ang maganda eh. Now, may mga Let's talk, bago natin pag-usapan yung mga over-promising, under-delivering, personal failures.
Oo naman.
How do you deal with failure?
I'm tahimik ako tao. So, I tend to I like matutulog muna ako.
Really?
And then
with a heavy heart yan, ha?
Yeah. Like, I don't wanna talk kung galit ako or some failures. Like, kasi for me, pag galit ka, you don't achieve anything. And maybe because...
Can you expound on that? Pag galit ka, you don't achieve anything.
Yes, because you're just human. It's normal, like, you get upset, right? Pero when you're upset kasi you're not being objective. So you might say something that hindi mo naman minimin yun.
Right.
So I rather like nasanay ako, especially with me with management, kailangan ko control mo din yon. So nasanay ako like any challenges. In fact, I don't want to say mga problem. I changed that a long time ago. I don't want to use the word problem. What's the challenge?
Oh,
Yes.
yun. Okay.
Yes, I like it kasi pag challenge ka parang okay, mas hindi mabigat.
Yeah.
You know, so I like ako, I sleep muna and then I pray a lot. Pag after few days, ready na ako, sige. Yung mind ko, I can think now, ano ba ang next step? So I don't wanna dwell on that, but I wanna move forward. Ano bang magagawa ko next?
Like when you move forward, so may isang bagay kang passionate about, excited about, hindi natupad. It turned out to be a challenge. You slept on it. It doesn't change this. And now your mind is clear. You look at this challenge. Is the decision more like, am I going to let this go and move on? Or am I going to spend the energy and see what I can do to maybe overcome the challenge and move on? Ganun ba? Or how does it work?
Well, syempre if you're planning to do this, meron ka na yung vision. And you know, it comes challenges with that.
Yeah.
And you try. Pero pag sa akin, pag yung mabigat, like parang I did this and that na, hindi pala. So it's not. But I always have like plan B and C. Kasi I don't want like, doon lang ako. Honestly speaking, like, parang takot ako yung sa failure. So medyo yung mindset ko na very conservative, medyo sigurista dito. So I know like, okay, kaya to, you know. But I'm very conservative in general, like whether investment, and I want to put a lot of option. And as much as possible, once nag-decide ako dyan na, I have to put a lot of energy kasi in success, hindi naman yan overnight eh.
No.
It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of energy. And I always believe like praying for God's wisdom. I think since I started having my own business, natutuwa ko na mag-pray ka muna. Anong wisdom ni Lord? Tapos pag na-open yung window, okay, so maybe God is opening this door for me, you know. So it's a big factor for me yung magpe-pray ako before my mind is kasi very active. So ito yung gagawin ko. Pero matutulog ako. Lord, ito bing para sa akin, you know. I wish I can hear your voice. You know, when they do testimony sa church, like, I never hear his voice. Or and I tend to like, okay, let me read the Bible. Maybe you want to speak to me, Lord, you know. Like, hinahanap ko yun but I pray. And sometimes I get some inspiration from reading the Bible. I'm not the type of person who read the Bible every day. But like when it comes to decision making or any challenges sa family, whether yung sa mga health or going to business, I rely a lot in praying.
So you're not impulsive, parang ganon?
Hindi naman. My mind.
Your mind is.
Yes.
Pero yung action, that takes time.
Yes. Very active yung mind ko. Ang dami kong pwede ako yun itong plano. Oo, pero pag it comes to yung final decision, I really put a lot of thought in it.
So yung impulsive idea to implementation, yung gap nun, yun ang thought process talaga.
Yes. And I think that helps pag like Richard is nagbe-brainstorm kami.
Yeah.
And then it helps a lot like hindi kailangan magka-agree kayo.
Yes.
Kasi maganda nga pag hindi siya nag-agree, sige pag-isipan ko, ba't
But di
kaya?
siya,
Oo.
Ano
Yeah.
nakikita niya na hindi mo nakikita, di ba? Parang gano'n.
Yes. And then, of course, hindi mo ma-avoid yung mag-aaway kayo, di ba? Siyempre, hindi pareho yung mind nyo. But then we start, like, I said, like, okay, I want to say something, pero ayoko mag-aaway. Let's brainstorm. So, when we're used
Huwag mo
na,
kasi papabenta yung mga ticket.
we're used na since we were 20s, ganun na. Mahilig kami mag-brainstorm. Like,
Okay.
and then we come together with the decision na.
Galing, no? Now, you did not open just one med spa. You opened how many? 3?
3, yes.
Was that part of the impulsive thinking or was that part of the thought process going to implementation?
No, kasi imagine wala kaming investor eh. Like,
Wala. Nung
like
una
putting-
kayo lang yun.
Yes, putting the first location, yung chair ko binili ko lang sa IKEA. Like, and then as we grow, when I started buying like nice furniture na gano'n yung mga client ko, ay, maganda na yung upuan mo. Sabi ko, yes, tita.
Napapansin nila yun, ha?
Yes, because like, ayoko kasi like, putting a business, nakakatakot to utang ka, tapos pag hindi mag-work, ayoko nga ang dami kong utang, tapos masisira yung credit mo. So when we started Rancho, imagine almost 4,000 square foot.
Yeah, laki.
I think isang upuan lang yung just isang sala set for receiving area and then walang decoration. Nakita mo yun, di
Yeah.
ba? It's so bare.
When it started, di ba? Lahat tayo nakapunta tayo sa rancho.
Yes, and then like high ceiling siya. So ang hirap na.
Laki-laki nung lobby.
Yes, so tapos wala kang budget to pupunuin yun. But like I started with few clients from the previous company. So doon nag-grow and then as nag-grow siya, okay, in 6 months, sige, ito naman ipa-project ko. Para kang nag-project ng bahay. And thank God, I praise God for all this client, very loyal, who trust me.
Amen.
Nakita nila paano kami nag-start. Okay lang, napansin nga yung chair ko na from IKEA.
How about this? You started in Rancho,
Yes.
which is 40 miles, guys. If you're not from Southern California, it's 40 miles east of the city.
Mhm.
And people would drive that far
Yes,
to have a session with you guys.
exactly.
Diba?
Mm-mm.
I mean, this was before Beverly Hills. Right now, you're in
Yes.
Beverly Hills na eh.
Yes.
And buhay pa rin yung rancho.
Yes.
Galing. Hindi ba nagsiselos yung mga staff? Ba't wala sila sa Beverly Hills? Bakit sila nasa rancho?
No, yung
Oo, yung isa, oh.
So yung staff ko sa rancho, mga 10 years na most of them.
So, dapat sila nasa Beverly Hills.
Yung sila nga yung it's nice to have a good staff like that. It's challenging to find a good one.
Sobra.
You know that. So Beverly Hills, a lot of my staff dyan, dati mga artista or model. So yung focus hindi sa industry. Dun sa hopefully yung sa mga project nila sa model or celebrity.
Yes.
But I always want to give chance to everybody. Pag makatulong ka at this moment,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, you know. Ganun yun. But my staff in Rancho, yun talaga is my backbone. Kasi like ngayon, pagbalik sa pandemic, ang hirap mag-hire, walang tao nag-apply. So I have to get my staff like, hey, give me twice a week, once a week. So nag-alternate yung mga staff ko sa Rancho.
Nagko-commute sila.
Yes.
No? More than
Yes.
40 miles, right, Richard? Yeah, more
Yes,
than 40
and they
miles.
enjoy it. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's nice to go out of Rancho kasi their house na sa Rancho din. So nag-enjoy din sila sa
Yes.
Beverly Hills. Kaya I bring them out din.
Speaking of bringing out, you've been hanging out with the Filipino celebrities. They're part of the whole culture of iSKIN and
Yes.
Image Spa. Diba? You had Miss Pops Fernandez before nung time na nasa
Rancho.
rancho and all that.
Yeah.
That marketing campaign, that not everybody does that. Eh. Not everybody, let me rephrase it, not everybody young in the business will go at it. Pero that's what you did,
Yes, I think on our second year. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
What was going through your head?
Well,
Kasi that was a risk eh, di
yes.
ba?
Yes,
Because
that's the biggest.
Hindi mo naman pwede bigyan ng $200 at ito, bahala ka na. Yan ang gagawin mong mukha ng
Yes.
ano eh.
And not only that, because you have to pay the network like TFC.
Yes.
Yung yung monthly budget
Right.
mo, yung spot sa ads mo.
Right.
And I always-
TFC is the Filipino channel, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that was the first one. But then I was confident na with may budget na kami sa marketing. But syempre nakakatakot yun, like first time mo getting Pops Fernandez and then putting your ads, magkano gagastuin mo every month noon. Kinakabahan ako the first 3
And you have
months.
to be, you can't do it one time.
No.
That has to be a consistent thing.
Yes.
Diba? Kumbaga, oh my God, isama mo na talaga yan sa
Monthly budget.
monthly budget.
Yes. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by ABA e-Services.
But I was so confident na pag papasok yung client, I know when we're given that chance, opportunity to sit down with them, I know na somehow they would understand the concept.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have a stable of other celebrities coming to iSKIN mismo.
Yes.
Diba? What are the challenges working in having a clinic in Beverly Hills? Yan ang mecca ng beauty, Beverly Hills. You have all the plastic surgeons in Beverly Hills. You have, I mean, it's sophisticated in Beverly Hills and it's not cheap
Yes.
to be in that zip code. And yet here you are. It's a nice place. When did you know you were ready to be there?
I didn't know I was ready.
Oh my God.
Yes. So, going to Beverly Hills, I think when the first time we opened, when we decided to open West Hollywood, ang business plan nun, ipa-franchise. Kasi ang daming lumalapit sa akin na gusto makipag-business partner. Ayoko nga, I don't want a business partner. Franchise na lang para, sige, ikaw na. Diba? That was like, in my mind, ayoko na maraming locations. So maybe I would do franchise. But then, I only have one child. Isa lang anak ko. And she doesn't want to go that route. She want more simple. Like work and then, mommy, I want mag-mission sa church. So I told Richard like, why do I have to work that hard? Ayoko ma-stress ng maaga ako mamatay.
Exactly.
So like, kasi putting a lot of location, it takes a lot of time, you know, energy.
Para mga baby mo yan eh. You have to
Yes.
take care of them eh. Diba?
Yes. And then even pag ipa-franchise mo yan, alagaan mo yan. So I decided, like I told Richard, like I think I'm happy now with 3 location. I don't wanna go further. We stay here kasi mas maganda maalagaan natin.
When you say stay here, West Hollywood pa to?
Yes, West
Okay.
Hollywood. So, but here comes pandemic, di ba? West Hollywood, I only open it once a week during 2020 because like our lawyer said, like don't accept new clients, marami expectation. And a lot of our clients naka-prepaid yung package nila kasi may treatment plan yan.
Yes.
Like how do I
Sessions,
10
right?
years younger. So hindi mo naman pwede isaksak sa mukha niya one time. Di ba? It takes months. Yeah, so you have to cater to them even during pandemic. We open like few days a week. But then I saw yung loyalty ng client, ang trust. Some of them like, takot ako mag-close ka, baka hindi ka na maka-open. Kasi a lot of big companies really closed down.
Right.
But I saw like how supportive my client and they na sila pa yung, sige bibili ako, lahat pati product mo. Actually, ni-launch namin yung product line during pandemic.
Galing, no?
Na nakalimutan ko yon for how many years because like nagsasample sale ako sa client. Try mo tita, tapos pag magustuhan mo, I wanna see kasi pag mag-refill eh.
Yeah.
Kasi I don't wanna put product tapos walang magre-refill.
Correct.
You know, and I have a lot of services to offer. So
Correct.
I can
So yung
focus
product
here.
talaga was on the back burner.
Yes, for
Oo.
2 years I did not realize. And then pag lockdown,
Walang service.
yes, so tumatawag yung client ko, what will I do?
Ayun,
Close ka. Ay, pala may product ako, tita, 5 minutes facial. I told myself, sige, ano mo na yung online?
Push. Oo.
Yes, push mo na yon. So, there I think nag-start na nakita ko during lockdown yung product namin nag-move na hindi nawala sa plano, na launch namin wala sa plano. And
Okay, time out. There, nakita ko yung product nag-move na launch namin nang wala sa plano. You're decisive. You see an opportunity, boom! At gawa tayo ng marketing. Kailangan lumabas yan. Ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. How important is it to be decisive as opposed to be indecisive in moments like that?
well, as long as you know what you're doing, And kasi when pinag-aralan mo yon and you know that it gonna work, it really help a lot, you know.
To amplify it, di ba?
Mhm.
Okay. So lumabas yung product, pandemic, 2020, nasa West Hollywood pa rin tayo, and then what?
Mag-expire na yung contract ko.
Sa lease.
Lease, yes. Like,
Was it losing money?
no, we were okay. And actually, na-evaluate namin. That's what I wanna share. Like I said earlier sa dinner natin, during pandemic, like, pag positive ka tao, may makita ka opportunity.
Yeah.
Dan doon ka sa yung, ay, lockdown lahat. Ako hindi. Like first lockdown, syempre pag sabi nung March 20, I remember the date kasi fully book ako Saturday. And
Right.
then in-announce, kailangan magla-lockdown. Like, I would have make a lot of money that day kung inopen ko. Kaya lang, by the book din ako, ay naku, baka may mangyari. Sige, close mo na
Yes.
lang. Cancel tita lahat yung ang mga appointments. And nawala ko. Saan tayo doon?
Yun. Matatapos na yung lease,
Yeah.
you were seeing opportunities, di ba? Biglang pandemic, and then nag-focus tayo sa product.
Yeah.
Pero as a positive person, you're looking at
Yes. So,
opportunities, not as challenges, di ba?
yes. So, the first opportunity that I saw with pandemic, yung product, ay, nakalimutan ko yun sa opportunity to.
Right.
Diba? Kasi what can I do? Sarado. They cannot come to
Correct.
spa, magpa-treatment. So, nakita ko nag-move yung product because I have a lot. May rancho kasi ang tagal na yan. So, ang laki ng database ko. You know, so email blast lang kami. Client nag-order. Tapos, pinapak lang namin yun ng mga staff ko. Nagpa-part-time sa akin.
Galing.
Work from home. Tapos, yung nag-ano lang kami, yun, each one of my staff magko-connect in sa mga clients. So we provided the products, and then here comes Hollywood.
Lease expiration.
Yeah, in 2 months wala pa akong place.
Why? Ba't ayaw mo mag-renew sa West Hollywood?
Well, West Hollywood has been like it's too small na
Yeah.
for us.
I mean, yung lobby nun compared sa lobby ng Rancho, mas maliit pa nga yung lobby ng West Hollywood dito sa studio ko eh.
Yeah, it's so small kasi
Yeah.
it's West Hollywood, it's very expensive. Thinking na once a week ka lang open, is it worth it to renew? You know? Siyempre pag-isipan mo yon. But then I was looking at the database, like even once a week lang inopen ko, kumikita pa rin yung company.
Galing.
And I have a lot of loyal clients. So, parang sayang naman.
Right.
And then, there I told Richard, with pandemic, ang daming bakante.
Nax!
So, makikita mo na naman opportunity.
I know!
Ang daming bakante. And before I went West Hollywood, inofferan ako ng Beverly Hills before. And I told them, I'm not ready.
Kasi mahal.
Isa, mahal. Second, kasi first time ko wala akong
Yes.
partner, di ba?
Yes.
So, nakakatakot pag sarili mo na lang, wala kang matakbuhan.
Right.
And then, pandemic, nakakatakot na to move there.
Because you don't know what the future is eh.
Yes, on and off pa eh. So, before like, even I have opportunity to open Beverly Hills, I said, no, una mahal, I don't want to be expensive. At saka may followers na ako Pinoy eh. So baka isipin, ay Beverly Hills, mahal ka. So takot din ako mawala yung mga clientele ko. But here comes pandemic, mag-expire yun. It was another opportunity. I told Richard, well, ang daming bakante ngayon, maybe it's about time to move to Beverly Hills.
Wow.
Now you're getting a better price.
Ano sabi ni Richard?
Yes. Yes nang yes yan.
Madali, no?
Yeah.
Walang ka-problema.
Yes. So, again, sa pandemic, if you only look at the positive side, may opportunity
Yes.
ka makikita. So, that's how we got the penthouse. Yeah.
And it's a penthouse.
Yes. I can't believe na meron pala available.
Right. Kumbaga, may area for you to actually have gatherings also.
Yes.
Di ba?
And like sa business, syempre location is so important,
Yeah.
di ba? So coming to Beverly Hills, like pagbilian mo dyan Robertson, or sabi kailangan dun ka na sa triangle na yon.
Yes.
And I look at all those places. Even sa triangle, they was cheaper. than where I am right now. Mas mura yung nakita ko doon. But then yung building is not ideal. Low ceiling. I want yung high ceiling, maluwag. Kasi spa eh. I want
Yes.
people to enjoy. And again, prayer that I want to share with your viewers. Like, we go to the same church.
Yeah.
Tahimik lang ako. You don't
Yes.
hear me, I'm not that, like, I'm typical like a church goer
Wala lang, just go in,
out.
out.
Hindi ako makipagchika after.
Yeah.
So, but then sabi ko sa mga friends, or sometimes now I even share it with client na, like, even I'm not that bold when it comes to my faith as a Christian, but then when it comes to personal, I pray a lot. I pray a lot, like that's why your relationship with God eh.
Yes, amen.
Iba yun yung just you. I don't have to have all this sa church to be around me if I want to communicate with
Yeah.
God. So with whenever I go to like this one, Beverly Hills, talking about Beverly Hills, like there's one place that I really like. Halos wala ka nang spend money. The room is so ready na. Oh my God, sabi ko sa my realtor, my heart palpitates. I think this is for me. Yun
Parang
yung feeling ko.
ganun na naman.
Rancho. Sabi ko, ito yung akin. And then you consider the parking, Beverly is challenging. And then they told me like, don't show too excitement. Mas pahirapan ka sa discount mo. Sabi ng realtor ko, sabi ko, okay, I'll behave. And then they show me this place. Sabi ko parang hindi ko type. But I saw yung penthouse.
Yeah.
Na-visualize ko yun. Kung ako client, I like to come and enjoy the view. Parang may me time.
May tea.
Like treat yourself, So, yun. But they told me like, oh, may nagbid na dyan. Spa din, pangatlo ka na. And syempre, kinakapan ko baka mas bigger than me. How can I like yung bid, And again, pray pa rin yun. Titulugan ko yun. Every night, pinipray ko. Para kung bata, sige na, Lord, bigay mo na sa akin.
So may
Ako na lang.
childlike heart pa rin.
Ganon ako when I pray to God. Like, I'm like, sige na, Lord, kaya mo naman. I really like it. I don't know where to go if you don't give me this.
Amen.
So, pinahirapan pa rin. Sabi ko, in 2 weeks, wala na akong place. I told them like, end of May, my contract is done.
You weren't stressing out?
No, ayoko ma-stress.
So pag sinabi mong ayaw mo ma-stress, help us out, help us understand. Kasi minsan gusto mo rin sabihin yun, di ba? Andiyan ang mortgage mo, ayoko ma-stress. Pero andiyan ang mortgage mo. Tinitignan mo rin eh. Hindi ako ma-stress sa'yo. How do you simply say, I don't want to deal with stress? How do you simply say that?
So I used to be not like this.
Okay.
But as I age, with a lot of challenges, and then na-overcome ko, na-realize ko na, pag ma-stress ka lang, wala kang magagawa eh.
Amen.
Kasi pag stress ka, you cannot think right. Diba? So, and I remember I have dorm mate nung college. I always like that, nako, why you always say nako? Ganon siya sa akin. I remember, sabi niya, why you always say that? And until now, I remember, sabi ko, alam mo siya yung first nagsabi sa akin, why you always worry? Instead na mag-worry. So, yun nga, ayoko ma-stress.
Okay.
As Richard.
So ayaw mo ma-stress. 2 weeks, wala ka ng place sa west side. Wala ka pang sagot sa penthouse. What was the waiting like?
Oh my God. My old place, may contract pala ko doon kasi it's owned by Cedars eh. Cedars tayo na may-ari nung building na yon. So, big corporation, It's hard to negotiate with them.
Right.
But so far, they're good landlord to me. Sabi ko, baka hindi pa napapansin mag-end yung contract ko. Hoping hindi pa mag-end yung contract ko. But 2 weeks, really like, saan ko ilalagay yung client ko sa ano na lang ko? Although I have backup like going to Rancho for the
Yes.
meantime, tita, di ba? And I told my realtor, ayaw sa'yo, retail ka daw. Retail ako. Hindi ako retail ha, by appointment yung client ko. So, of course, every night I pray. Tapos Richard have yung photo nung penthouse.
So para ma-manifest eh, di ba?
Yes, kailangan yon. So, the building owner, meron siya sariling look. This is how I want. Whoever gonna list this place, this is how I want the penthouse, yung outdoor. May budget pa siya doon. Kailangan yung spend mo amount of money. And nakalagay yun sa master bedroom namin, dun lang sa side. Every morning, titingnan ko. Akin yan, Lord.
Amen.
Bibigay mo yun sa akin. And then until like siguro a week na lang, I told them, you know what? My list is up. I'm only giving you 3 days. Come back to me if you accept me or not.
Ba? Parang rancho lang no? 3 months lang ang meron kong pambayad sa inyo.
Yes. So, I don't know. I can get away with that.
Okay.
So
And then?
I told my realtor na, sabi mo sa kanya 2 days, 3 days na lang, I'm done. Kahit wala akong backup. Kunwari lang yun.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, which is true din, don't let me wait. Pag ayaw ni sa akin,
Okay.
Yeah, you just have to tell me now. Sabi ko, but one thing I can tell you, when I join your building, your building will be exciting. Which is true.
Amen.
Buhay sila ngayon.
Aha.
My penna is the most,
Yun, narereklamo na nga eh. Napupulis na ang buhay na. Buhay na buhay.
Yes. And then so, binigay. But I believe it's really God's
Yes.
blessing.
Yes.
You know?
Amen.
Hindi naman ganun, parang I don't own those stuff.
But now, this is you and you lang. Wala kang partner,
Yes.
solo flight.
Mm-hmm.
Iba yung feeling.
Oh, it's easy. Kasi you don't have to ask somebody
But
for
then
your
again,
decision.
but then again, sink or float, it's all on you.
Yes. But I'm not afraid.
Okay,
And I think
that's
I
what
would
I wanna-
inspire like everybody,
Yes.
like in anything you do, whether it's work yan or putting a business. Putting a business is more challenging. Ang dami yan eh. But of course, magpipray ka, focus, and you know what you're doing. And I think for the past over 10 years, I have established like yung reputation with client na I don't promise like you're gonna look like this,
Yep.
but like our industry, like very competitive din yan. You can get Botox anywhere, all this machine. But I tell my client, and that's why I was not scared to come to Beverly Hills. Pag-isipin mo, Beverly Hills yan eh. Ang dami mong
Yeah.
kalaban, mga surgeon of this and that. But I was so sure with my followers, just Filipino clientele, number one. And in West Hollywood, we were able to establish with some mainstream na rin. And I
Right.
got a lot of supporters, like the power of celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, like they have followers to endorse you, to talk about you. So with that, I know like we can compete. And malaki yung market eh. Anywhere you go, you know. But if you know what you're doing, you take care of clients, people will stay with you.
Like dito sa Beverly Hills, to people in the area watching and listening, if they want to go to iSKIN sa Beverly Hills, do they walk in or they have to make an appointment?
May appointment kasi penthouse kami.
So when they do the appointment, is it by phone or by internet?
Phone.
Phone. What can they expect when set na yung appointment? How excited should they be, and what can they expect?
Well, we'd ask kasi when client call, we invite them to come for consultation, and again, people have like expectation. So one thing like I think the place itself is already like exciting for a lot of clients. People who call us, ginugugol ka na yan eh.
Aha.
Titingnan na yung place mo. So they're looking at the place. I think that's one thing that they're curious. They want to see the place, you know. And when they come, syempre titingin yan. But during consultation, when they understand how it works, how we put it together, when my clients start laughing,
Yun na.
alam ko na, naintindihan na. Kasi it's important for me you understand anong papasukin mo, because I'm not in the
Yes.
mall where you just walk in, nadaanan mo
Correct.
lang ako. Meaning serious ka, you walk into the spa. So, and as much as possible, we try our best to meet that expectation.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, before we land this episode, for that young lady who's trying to find her foot in the world, who's kind of scared na makriticize ng ng mga kaibigan niya or ng sarili niyang pamilya at medyo kinakabahan pero punong-puno ng idea, what can you advise?
Well, like I think a lot of young ones, I think in general, nasa stage ka nun. You don't may makikita ka, ito yung gusto ko gawin, but then you're not there yet. You have no capacity to do that.
This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
So, first, I would advise finish your school kasi iba pag educated
Yes.
ka eh. When you're educated, finish that school first. Although ngayon, ang dami ng yumayaman na hindi
Ang
natapos.
hindi, di ba?
So, I'm the old school type.
Tumi-TikTok lang, milyonaryo na.
I know. And whatever you wanna do, syempre pag bata ka, ang dami mo pa. Gusto ko ito, bukas ito yung
Yeah.
gusto ko. Pero somehow may isa ka dyan na gusto mo. You know, this is what I want. And you have to go, kung saan yung gusto mo pupuntahan, you have to start somewhere. Like, whatever that industry or business that you wanna do, you have to be ready to start somewhere and learn from that.
Be ready to
Yes.
start somewhere. Okay.
Yes, you have to start somewhere. And
So you really need to take action in other.
yes,
Okay.
and over time, you achieve it. Of course, for me it's important you have that yung sense of yung kailangan responsible ka, with every decision, or kung bibigyan ka ng opportunity, take care of that.
Right.
Whether isipin mo ito lang yung job ko for a while or not, kasi wherever you start, dun ang inner ugali mo eh. Yun sinasabi ko sa mga staff ko. You may be staying for me for a while, maybe may iba kang dreams, but wherever you start, kailangan dun umpisa yung magandang mong ugali.
Because it goes with you eh.
Yes, it goes with you. Gift mo yun eh. So kahit magwe-waitress lang akong today, matyaga ako maglinis, kasi yung linis na table na yan, ugali mo na yan eh. So pag you go to the next job, whatever it is,
Dala mo yan.
trabaho mo yan eh.
Oh.
Ito naman yung next responsibility
Yes.
ko. So I have to do, until by then you'll be equipped. Then once you're ready to start your own, and even when you start your own, sometimes you don't succeed right away. Even me, my first spa. Pero you have to continue, and kasama dun yung hard work.
So hard work pays off.
Of course.
Sa mga taong nag-fail, natakot ulit bumangon, ano masasabi mo?
Well, of course, not
Kasi failure is part of it eh, di ba?
Oo.
So,
Pag siya ma-stress. Yun yung first advice ko. No, it's not. Well, of course, not everybody, you're gonna fail, But one thing I advise na don't dwell on that. Siyempre, you can, pwede ka yung sit back and think. Pero remember your failure should be, it gives you more, it makes you more stronger for me. Diba? Kasi nahulog ka dito. So, pag hindi mo continue yon, where you gonna go?
correct.
Even you say, I'm already 50. Hello, baka buhay ka pa hanggang 80. Anong gagawin mo sa 30 years mo? So, you keep on that focus, positive, talaga, yung outlook.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Imee Maghanoy.
Pinawisan ako?
High five, Miss Imee! Thank you so much.